The European football season kicks off in Austria, and public money is already falling into a major trap on the UEFA Super Cup. Back-to-back Champions League winners Paris Saint-Germain clash with Europa League champions Aston Villa at the Red Bull Arena in Salzburg. Public money is heavily backing the French juggernaut on the straight money line. But when you evaluate underlying non-penalty expected goals, spatial field tilt, and neutral venue defensive concession baselines, the raw data reveals a massive structural mispricing on the goal market. Welcome back to Slip Logic, where we ignore public media hype, strip away brand names, and let verified quantitative models lead the way. Today, we deliver a full analytical breakdown for this European showdown and show you why Villa's transition speed drives a high-value plus 18.8% expected value edge.
Let's look directly at the underlying process statistics powering both clubs into this clash. Under Luis Enrique, PSG enters as the premier domestic and continental force, averaging 2.10 actual goals scored per match in European knockout ties, against an 1.82 non-penalty expected goals per 90 per 90. Defensively, PSG surrenders 0.85 actual goals against, a 0.90 NPXGA, maintaining establishing plus 0.92 NPXG differential per game in European competition. Aston Villa arrives under European specialist Unai Emery, averaging 1.55 actual goals per match from a 1.35 NPXG creation floor. However, Villa's defensive process on neutral territory reveals vulnerabilities. The Villains concede 1.30 actual goals per game against a 1.42 NPXGA, failing to suppress central inner box shot volume against elite opposition.
The tactical battle lines at Red Bull Arena will be sharply drawn from the opening whistle. PSG commands a 62.5% possession baseline with a 64.0% field tilt, using Vitinha and João Neves in a central pivot to dictate tempo and control spatial progression. PSG deploys an 8.8 PPDA counterpress, immediately trapping opposition build-up attempts in the final third. Aston Villa operates at 44.5% possession in underdog setups with a low 39.0% field tilt. Under Emery, Villa drops into a disciplined mid-block with a 13.8 PPDA, intentionally ceding spatial volume to release rapid vertical counterattacks. With PSG's 64.0% field tilt pinning Villa inside their own 18-yard box, Villa's secondary line surrenders 13.5 shot attempts per 90, creating constant shooting lanes for PSG's perimeter attackers.
Player availability and tactical history add crucial context to this matchup. This curtain raiser reunites Unai Emery with his former club, alongside defender Lucas Digne. Their memorable Champions League quarterfinal clash produced a high-variance 3-2 victory for Villa at Villa Park, proving Emery's system can exploit PSG's high defensive line. PSG retains world-class creative options with Ousmane Dembele, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, and Desiree Doué feeding the attack to maintain an expected creation floor over 1.80 NPXG. For Villa, despite missing Amadou Onana and Leon Bailey, the frontline tandem of Ollie Watkins and Alejandro Garnacho provides transition velocity, capable of punishing PSG when they commit numbers forward.
Expect PSG to assert early territorial dominance, controlling middle third tempo behind their 8.8 PPDA counterpress. Villa will absorb initial pressure in a tight mid-block, waiting to spring Watkins and Emiliano Buendia on direct turns behind PSG's aggressive fullbacks. However, Villa's underlying defensive process, surrendering 1.42 NPXGA on neutral territory, makes a clean sheet against Kvaratskhelia and Dembele highly improbable. Concurrently, PSG's high-line defensive setup yields an average of 0.90 NPXGA in high-tempo European games. Having conceded in back-to-back encounters against Villa, PSG remains vulnerable to direct transition counters. Game flow points toward a high-volume, two-way goal-scoring encounter.
Now, let me show you where the quantitative market edge resides. PSG's straight money line at minus 250 carries an excessive 71.43% implied probability for minimal return. Instead, the largest positive expected value, or plus EV, sits on both teams to score, or BTTS, yes, at minus 125, or 1.80 decimal, priced by odds makers at an implied probability of 55.56%. When factoring in Villa's transition threat through Watkins and Garnacho, paired with Villa's 1.42 NPXGA defensive weakness, our true quantitative model assigns a 66.00% probability that both teams find the back of the net.
To verified mathematical value over heavily taxed money lines. Our primary play for the 2026 UEFA Super Cup is both teams to score, BTTS yes, at minus 125, with Paris Saint-Germain 90-minute money line, minus 250, serving as a secondary selection. If you want sharp, data-backed sports analytics delivered directly to your feed all season long, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a like. Drop your final score predictions in the comments below, and let's run the numbers together. This is Slip Logic. Let's cash on the European opener.